The first thing that we know about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is that Obi-Wan himself will be fighting Darth Vader not once, but twice. Now, many people think that these fights are going to be either visions, force projections, or dreams, but I think there's enough there in terms of the dialogue used in A New Hope for them to have been an Obi-Wan and Vader fight between Revenge of the Sith and, well, A New Hope. But I know that that is a very hot topic, so please let me know what you think. But either way, they're having 2 fights in this series, and I can almost guarantee there will be 2 of the best fights we have ever seen in Star Wars. Second up is that there is going to be a new Inquisitor character, and that is the third sister. She will be showing up in this series alongside the Grand Inquisitor and the 5th brother. Now, the Grand Inquisitor and the 5th brother are definitely 2 of my favourite Inquisitors, so I'm very excited for this. And the third sister is supposed to be the most evil of any Inquisitor we have ever seen in Star Wars thus far, which is potentially why we don't see her in any other content, because maybe she's so evil, Obi-Wan has to kill her. I could definitely see it be that she puts herself in a situation where Obi-Wan either has to let her escape or has to kill her, because she knows that Jedi don't tend to kill people.
Who will strike first and brand themselves a cold-blooded killer?
But Obi-Wan opts to kill her because she knows vital information that can't go back to the Empire at large. Maybe just that Obi-Wan himself is alive, maybe something to do with Luke, I don't know. But it would be really cool to see that Obi-Wan ranks his mission to save Luke above everything else in his life, including the Jedi Code. And the Inquisitors are said to be laying traps for Jedi to be drawn out of hiding, and apparently Obi-Wan is going to be drawn out by one of these traps. The third thing we know is that one of these traps will be that Leia is kidnapped by the Inquisitors from Bail Organa. Obviously, Leia being the other child of Anakin Skywalker, this is one of Obi-Wan's top priorities. If she were to fall into the hands of the Empire and got trained as like a Sith, then yeah, it wouldn't be very good. Now yes, Leia cannot know much about Obi-Wan, so if Obi-Wan does spring this trap and goes to save Princess Leia, then it's going to be quite difficult to fit that into canon properly. But what a lot of people think is going to happen is that Obi-Wan is going to wear a disguise. This could also double up as a way to cover up the fact that if the Grand Inquisitor and the 5th brother are there, that they don't know of Obi-Wan's survival by the time of, say, Star Wars Rebels. However, when everyone's just not sure if Obi-Wan is alive or not in like A New Hope and Rebels, that could be because they're not sure if Obi-Wan survived from the events of whatever happens in the Kenobi series, not whether he survived after the events of Revenge of the Sith, because at the end of the day, the reason why people like Tarkin and that aren't sure whether Obi-Wan is alive is mainly due to his age.
Surely he must be dead by now.
Some fans even think that Obi-Wan is going to fake his death at the end of this series after maybe the second fight with Darth Vader, which would be really cool to see and would add a lot to the significance of Vader's shock when he senses Obi-Wan's presence. Now, before we get into the video, if you're enjoying it so far, then maybe force push the like button down, and if you're new around here, then subscribe for plenty more Kenobi series content. The fourth thing we know, and you could probably guess it from that last one, is that Obi-Wan is going to be leaving Tatooine. Now, many fans are a bit like unsure as to what to think about this, because obviously Obi-Wan was told to stay on Tatooine, look after Luke, so there's gonna have to be a big reason for him to leave, and well, that Leia thing meets that description pretty well. Now, we did just get a whole like series on Tatooine minus 1.5 episodes of The Mandalorian season 3 chucked into the mix of that, and that's obviously the Book of Boba Fett, so it's pretty good news that we're not going to spend another whole series on the same planet. And to everyone that's still not sure whether they're okay with Obi-Wan leaving Tatooine despite the Leia thing and the fact that the Book of Boba Fett just happened, don't you think that it would be a pretty bland series if it was just Obi-Wan walking around Tatooine for, well, here's the fifth thing, 6 hours. Yes, the Kenobi series will be 6 hours of content separated into 6 one-hour-long episodes. And if you think about this, this is basically a Kenobi trilogy. If you were to just look at the screen time of 6 hours and divide that by 3, then you get 3 lots of 2 hours. And that's pretty similar to, you know, movie length. So we've got a Kenobi trilogy. Now, the sixth thing is that it releases on May 25th and not May 4th, which a lot of people thought it would be. But there's a good reason why it releases on May 25th, and that is because that was the date that A New Hope was released for the first time, which also happened to be the first time we ever saw the character of Obi-Wan on our screens. And now it also marks the date of the beginning of the last time we will ever see Obi-Wan Kenobi. but hopefully I'm wrong about that. But the Kenobi series could very well be the last time we see Obi-Wan on our screens. The 7th thing is that Palpatine may be returning.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Ian McDiarmid, Palpatine himself, did speak about the potential return of Palpatine, and he did mention the Kenobi series because Vader's in the Kenobi series as well. And a lot of people think that this is just him kind of saying that he's well aware that he could return, and he's trying to, you know, nudge Disney saying, I want to return. However, what many other people think that he's doing is he's teasing to us fans that he is going to be in the Kenobi series without actually admitting it. And I hope that second one is right, but what Star Wars Theory has said is that he's hinting that he's going to be back in Star Wars but not in the Kenobi series. That's why he so comfortably mentioned it, and he's actually going to be in the Cassian Andor series.
That being said, I do think that Andor has a lot more slots filled in for Palpatine to show up.
And that's very, very likely because that will also be very Empire focused. So I'd be down for both, but if I had to pick, I honestly don't know if I could. I feel like if he were to be in any one of the two, he'd have a more important role in Andor than Kenobi, so I'd probably pick that, but let me know what you think. Now, the 8th thing is that Darth Maul is going to fight Darth Vader. No, that's just a theory of mine that I made in this video, but it's pretty good and I believe it, so you should check it out now that this video is over. So yeah, thank you for watching, goodbye, and I'll see you in that video.